Hi, my name is Liz Hathaway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead, and that's the week starting Monday, October the 26th, 2020. Moon in Pisces at the beginning of the week sort of suggests to me that we're kind of slowly going to ease our way into this sort of crisis that's coming later on in the week. Pisces is still very sort of able to shift direction. There's still a bit of a way to go before we see the sort of final crescendo, if you like, around the full moon. Because you might remember a few weeks ago, I was talking around the time that Mercury went retrograde on the 14th of October about that new moon that was there on the 16th, just 2 days after. That new moon in 23 degrees 53 Libra, which was opposite Mars, squaring Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, suggested to me that what we were coming into was the final sort of shot, if you like, the final, sort of crescendo in this year that has been hallmarked by Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. I mean, this has been, quite some year. I mean, in some ways, I think we can be quite, we've dealt, it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, if we look at previous Saturn-Pluto conjunctions. But it has been the politics of fear. It's been about restriction. It's been about anxiety for a lot of people, isolation. But we're coming into the final sort of crescendo now, the final, this new moon that we've just had. And this is the full moon this weekend, which is linked to that new moon, and what a full moon it is. Okay, so anyway, let's jump, we'll get to there, but let's just start, as I say, the beginning of the week, moon in Pisces, soft moon, sensitive moon, still open to be, if you like, swayed. It's not decided. So if we look at it in terms of, the election in the US, these are the undecided voters who can swing it. There's something about Pisces, that dualism. It's, not quite finally made up its mind, the moon in Pisces. But then on Wednesday, we see Mercury retrograding back into Libra on the same day that Venus herself moves into Libra. So there's Libra coming back in the picture. And again, as I say, Mercury would go in retrograde around the time of the new moon on the 16th of October. And Mercury is coming back into the zone, if you like. It's going to be picking up on those Capricorn planets, right? So, this is, again, as I say, we're coming there. We're moving into it. Mercury back in Libra, picking up on that moon in Pisces as well. This sort of undecisive quality still there, although ruled now by Venus in Libra, which is a sign which is very much about, not only harmony, not only fair play, but also it's very much about aesthetics. It's very much about good leadership. It's very much, especially, this is the ruler of the midheaven in the Sibley US chart. So it's an important planet coming now into Libra, going to cross over the midheaven there. So this is an interesting shift just in this period building up towards, shall we say, the election next week. So I think this is interesting that Venus is moving into Libra. And then again, Mercury important because it's gone back into that zone there. It's as well in Libra, back in Libra. So Libra, yes, it's about aesthetics. It's also about, on the midheaven, it's about victory, and a victory maybe for fair play, for decency. Libra does not like things that are uncouth, that are raucous, that are unpleasant, that are, uncontrolled in a way that suggests, and we've got Mars in Aries, don't forget, at the moment. This is the opposite sign, Libra. It's wanting things to be more harmonious and more polite and cleaner and just altogether more civilized, if you like. So this is interesting. Friday, of course, we have, the moon here, square Jupiter, square Pluto, square Saturn. This is the moon in Aries, of course, opposite Mercury, and then the moon moves into Taurus on Friday. So this has taken us into this full moon. Full moon on Saturday. this is, this axis here, Scorpio, Taurus, it's very much about values. It's very much about core values. It's very much about money. It's very much about finances, but it's about more than that. I know Moon in Taurus does like comfort, does want, money in the bank. It's Venus ruled and all of that. But there is that sense as well of, it's not just about money, it's about values. It's about, we can have a lot, but we have to know the value of things. So this is interesting, I think, this full moon. Full moon brings things to light. It polarizes. There is that sense of light and dark, of life or death with Scorpio, certainly in the picture. It's Halloween as well. So, life or death is definitely a theme there. But there's that polarization here. Full moon bringing things to light. It's conjunct Uranus. Now, I have an enormous database of horoscopes. And I just did a quick sort of search through that database on Moon conjunct Uranus. And yes, it throws up an interesting bag. I mean, in terms of the collective, it can indeed lead to events taking place that shock or shatter something in the collective vibe. People are disgruntled. It's kind of, it's almost like a shock element, yeah. Whereas in terms of personal horoscopes, it throws up an interesting group of people who are innovative, who are bringing new things to light, who want to, be kind of unique in the gifts that they have to offer. But this full moon here on Saturday, certainly in the collective, suggests to me things coming to light, that there might still be some elements. Certainly, we can't avoid thinking about the election in the UK. I mean, if we look at Britain, for example, the election in the US, if we look at Britain, for example, I mean, Boris Johnson has come out and said he's not making any decision on whether to leave Europe without a deal until that election has been decided. I mean, it's a saying, isn't it? If the US catches a cold, the whole world sneezes. I mean, this is a powerful country. So there's a lot of build-up towards this election, I think. So there's there's so much at stake. What could still come out this next weekend that, kind of disruntles or shakes up the whole thing. It's not over till the fat lady sings. We have to keep that in mind. On Sunday, then, we have Mercury retrograde, square Saturn. As I said, that Mercury square Saturn is bracketing the election, in fact, because it will go direct on the day of the election, and then it will make its final square to Saturn a day or so after that. So yeah, Mercury square Saturn is a big responsibility on these undecided voters. I guess people in the US as well must be feeling this. Mercury square Saturn, it's the weight of our thoughts, the weight that sometimes a decision can have. Some decisions are more important than others. Something weighing on the mind, something suppressing freedom of thought, something in the way of action, something that we still have to weigh up. Saturn is exalted in Libra. So this is a really interesting week, psychologically, wherein we are probably wrestling with deep issues surrounding what matters and what has real value in our lives. Thank you for listening. Have a great week. Speak to you again. Bye.